The following segment is sponsored by Daniel A. White and Associates. It does not necessarily reflect the views of WDEL or Forever Media.
The Rick Jensen Show on 101.7 FM, 1150 AM, WDEL, and streaming to your smart speaker and mobile device.
Wait, what'd that guy say about the views and opinions? Well, it oughta. Look, I'm a happy camper client of Dan White's for many, many years. And every Wednesday after the news at 1:30, it's Dan or maybe Dan Simon or Andrew Wood from Dan White and Associates calls in with an excellent tip for you. Dan, wow, you got to be busy, man, because in addition to everything else you do, I mean, it's tax season, and you're working with your clients on that sort of stuff too, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. 1099s are starting to roll in, and people call in with questions. You know, we've either done some rollovers or that type of thing, and they get things in the mail, don't necessarily understand them, so they're usually reaching out to us for some guidance.
That's good, because you guys are award-winning, and you know what the heck you're doing. So you and I actually were messaging back and forth about a Roth IRA for teenagers and how extraordinary that can be. So if you get something back in the taxes and you're thinking, well, gosh, we could go and buy something goofy, or you could actually get the kids started out in something. Is this really, is it really a big deal when it comes to how much money they can earn over time?
It is. It really is, Rick. So I'll give you an example. You know, a lot of teenagers, and my kids are a little older than that, but we went through this ourselves. But they might have got a summer job. You know, they might have been a lifeguard, or they might have picked up a pizza delivery job or something like that. So, again, 'tis the season. They're getting W-2s in the mail. So let's just say your kid got a W-2 and he made $4,500 last year. It said wages, tips, and compensation, $4,500. Think, oh, well, that's nice. All right, you probably don't have to even file a return with that amount of money. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, you can't open a Roth IRA unless you have earned income. So if the kid had a $4,500 W-2, he could theoretically contribute the entire $4,500 to a Roth IRA. Now, the thing is, what kid wants to do that? Nobody. But nobody, right?
Yeah,
they want to buy a car.
Yeah.
They want to,
Hey,
go
are
to
you
the
kidding?
beach and do all this kind of stuff.
I mean,
Right.
if you're driving, it's like, I got to save for a better car. I need new tires. I want some cool wheels. I want spinners. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so from a parental standpoint, let's say, you looked at the W-2 and said, oh, he made $4,500. It doesn't matter where the money for the Roth IRA comes from. It can come from a grandparent. It can come from a parent. It doesn't matter where it comes from. He just has to have that much earned income in order to contribute to the Roth, okay? So, like I said, it doesn't matter where it comes from. It doesn't care if I fund the Roth IRA, if the grandparents, of a rich neighbor. All they know is they can't exceed what was reported in Box 1 of the W-2. Now, the beauty of this, so again, to summarize, you have taxable compensation of $4,500. He opens up a Roth account for $4,500, right? And let's say you're in aggressive mutual funds, and the powers of what Albert Einstein called the eighth wonder of the world, compound interest, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's say he did that a couple years in a row, and now his Roth was up to $10,000. Well, $10,000 at 6% growth after 40 years is going to be $102,000.
Sweet.
$10,000 at 8% growth after 40 years is going to be $217,000. Now, take it a step further. What if he contributed just $5,000 a year for the next 10 years and then didn't contribute for 30 years? So $10,000 now plus $5,000 for 10 years at 6% is $481,000. And if we take it a step a little more aggressive, $10,000 now, you put $5,000 in for 10 years, another $50,000 at 8%. After 40 years, you have $946,000.
Dan, you're having too much fun at your desk there with your Texas Instruments financial calculator, going like, okay, now what's the internal rate of return over the course of 20 years? You're having too much fun with that.
Well, Rick,
they're big numbers. It's really good. Yeah.
The moral of the story is, and I've preached this for years, is what's the most important dollar in a retirement plan? The first one.
Sure.
The one that you put in when the kid's 15 years old, because that one will be worth $25 by the time he's 65. But the one you put in when you're 63 years old, that's worth $1.10.
I hear you. So,
okay.
So
if you're going to start saving, start early.
$1.10. Yeah. No, absolutely, man. And I'm glad you're preaching this, because there are so many people right now who are struggling in their 40s or 50s or 60s. There's people in their 50s thinking, oh, I'm going to have to die at whatever job I'm doing because, well, they didn't
save anything.
That's exactly, starting when they're 15 years old. Exactly.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Exactly. So it's not only the kid, because the kid's not going to be thinking along those lines. Some kids do, but not many. But it's up to the parents to say, hey, if you made that, go spend your $4,500, but I'm going to sock that away in a Roth for you, and you're going to thank me one day because you're going to have a lot of money saved up.
Well, I'll thank you today. Well, thank you, because you actually helped me out, and I appreciate you, so I thank you today. And I know you got hundreds and hundreds, thousands of clients who thank you as well. So Sunday morning at 7 o'clock on 1150 a.m. and 1017 FM, WDEL, you have a program titled On the Money. What's on the show this Sunday?
So this Sunday, it's actually my daughter's birthday. You've met my daughter Jessica. It's her birthday on Sunday, but we're talking about Aunt Irma. And you might say, who the heck is Aunt Irma? Well, if your income's too high, your Medicare premium gets up. It's called the Income-Related Monthly Money Adjustment, IRMA. So again, if your income is too high, you're going to get whacked on your Medicare premiums, your Part B and your Part D, and we're going to discuss who or what is IRMA and how you can avoid the evil Aunt Irma.
So, you since you mentioned her, what are you getting Jessica for her birthday?
I don't know if we're getting together with her or not. She lives up in Downingtown, so she'll probably come down for dinner.
I'm going to say you better not say what the gift is on the air. She'll find out.
No, I know. I better not. So it'll be a surprise.
I heard it's a pony.
Right now, it's a surprise to me too.
Yeah, it's like whatever your wife says. Look what we're getting her. Oh, okay, fine. Otherwise, I was going to say, no, it's a pony. Oh, you gave her a pony. Very good. All right, buddy. Exactly. Dan White. You can call Dan at 888-690-8820, 888-690-8820, or just Google Dan White and Associates, because he got on internet early and the website name is far too long. 888-690-8820. All right, have a great day, buddy.
You too, Rick.
All right, take care, Dan.